What's up, Internet? I'm Jerry Cable. I'm the Canon Junkie. Let's get into it. Now, I know I made my first video and then I kind of disappeared on you guys for a little bit. My apologies on that. Had some family things going on, but I am back and I am ready to talk Star Wars. As you can see from the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about The Last Jedi. Now, don't click the thumbs down just yet, okay? Just hold on. As I'm recording this, it is the 1-year anniversary of The Last Jedi. It'll drop on the 15th, which is the official release date, but we all know that movies these days, they release the night before they come out, the official release date. So, why are we talking about The Last Jedi still a year after it came out? I don't know if you've noticed, there's been a little backlash, which quite frankly, I'm going to go ahead and come out and say it, I don't really understand. I'm sorry guys, I don't understand it. I'm not trying to say that you have to like the movie, that you're crazy if you don't like the movie, but personally it worked for me, and I hear the complaints, it's completely valid, I just didn't completely ruin Star Wars for me for some reason, I don't know. Now before we move any further, I know this is something I've heard a lot. I hear a lot of people who are hardcore fans saying that, well, you know, the things that didn't work for me in The Last Jedi, they worked for the casual fans, and that's just because they're not into the books and the comics and the lore and the TV shows as I am. So that's why they probably liked most everything in The Last Jedi. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Call me a Disney shill, whatever you want. I absolutely loved The Last Jedi. There's really only one thing I would change, and that is, quite frankly, the Maz Kanata cameo. What the heck was that? I mean, what, is that like a Maz Kanata Twitch stream of her playing Battlefront 2? What the heck is going on with that cameo? It makes no sense. That aside, I liked pretty much every square inch of the movie. I have seen it a lot since its release. But what I don't get, guys, is all of these fans who say, well, I'm a hardcore fan, I'm into all this stuff, I'm into the books, I'm into the comics, I'm into the TV shows, so a lot of it didn't work for me. I've been a fan for a little over 20 years, okay? Since the 90s. And I'm also super into all the books, the comics, the ones that I can get my hands on, the TV shows. I have seen every single episode and YouTube show. I'd like to say that I'm not a casual fan, yet I liked most of Last Jedi. Ooh, gasp! Now that we're done with that, guys, let's get into our topic. Why are you wrong about the theme of The Last Jedi? I admit it's a grabby title. Again, if you liked the movie, that's awesome. If you didn't like the movie, I'm not telling you have to like it. So since the release of The Last Jedi, I've heard a lot of people talking about the theme of the movie. And quite frankly, it makes me wonder what movie everyone else was watching. Ask anyone what they thought the theme of The Last Jedi is, super fan or not, and they will tell you it is let the past die. Kill it if you have to. That is not the theme of The Last Jedi. That is the demented worldview of Kylo Ren, the temper tantrum throwing dark side wielder. He basically is printing shirts for Hot Topic. Let the past die, kill it if you have to. I mean, come on. That is not what the theme is. What is the theme of The Last Jedi, if not let the past die? The Last Jedi does deal with themes of letting the past go, of moving on from the past, of not letting the past hold you back, but it is not about letting the past die or forgetting the past. In fact, I would argue that The Last Jedi unmistakably says, remember the past, learn from it, and move on from it. Just for example, Luke going on to the Falcon, remembering his adventures, remembering Han, remembering all the cool things that happened while on that ship. I mean, that's where his adventure started. That's awesome. He didn't forget about that. He didn't let it die. He walked onto that Falcon, the lights lit up, and he had a moment. Also, R2-D2 showed him the inciting incident. He showed him the thing that got him out of his Tatooine dwelling and on the road. It was the hologram of his sister, you didn't know it then, Leia, saying, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." Then you have them literally going to a rebel base to do their last-ditch offensive before they make their last escape. It is absolutely not about letting the past die. It is about how they are surrounded by the relics of the past and how they move on from it and learning from the mistakes of the past generation. So another way to kind of see what the true overall theme is to look at what I would consider the three main characters of the saga, and that is Rey, Finn, and Poe. But let's go ahead and start in the reverse order of what I just said. So Poe, the beginning of the movie, has a daring offensive, goes in, guns blazing, and decides, hey, let's use this entire bombing fleet we have, seems pretty handy, let's try to take out this dreadnought because it'll take us out if we don't take it out first. But in the process of this attack, tons of people die. Poe goes in, again, guns blazing, and gets everyone killed. It was a mistake. He failed. Now, Finn, well, he wakes up from his coma, and this is another thing. People complain about how Finn has the exact same arc from the first one. No, his arc just continues. If you remember, his arc got literally cut off in The Force Awakens. He went into a coma and really didn't get to pick a side. He left the First Order, but he didn't join the Resistance. He wanted to go to Starkiller Base to save Rey and go where they wanted to go. So Finn wakes up and he meets Rose and they get sent on this grand adventure. Plot. They go to Canto Bight to execute a specific mission, and their mission ultimately fails. Rey goes to the island to get Luke to bring him back to the fight so he can lead the Resistance and take down walkers with one swing of his hand, and that's not what happens, is it? No! She goes to Ahch-To, meets a disgruntled Luke, and ultimately runs off to, much in a very Luke-like way, face Kylo and Snoke in an attempt to turn Kylo to the light side. Pretty much because she had a Force vision that he still had good in him. That's a whole nother video that I would start to salivate and geek out over about how, oh my gosh, they both had visions about how they were going to join each other, and they totally did, but it was not in the way they thought, because the Force always gives you a crazy intense vision that is sometimes not right. Or not exactly what you think. But I digress. Rey ultimately fails at her mission too. So what is left for them to do but escape? Which is another lesson that they learned that is kind of set up at the beginning of the movie, where Poe, remember, basically gets all those people killed. Yeah, he kind of goes in guns blazing. He thinks, well, sacrifices have to be made. But something that Leia has learned in her long years of fighting is that sometimes you have to fight and make sacrifices. Other times, you might have to run away and live to fight another day. And there is no shame in that. That is the lesson that Poe ends up learning after his failure. Finn learns that just floating out in the middle and not picking a side and just running away from the whole war really is kind of not good. You could end up being someone like DJ who doesn't care. He realizes that he has to pick. Is he going to fight for good or what he loves? Or is he going to be apathetic, not caring about what goes on either side, and basically not caring that there are people, good people and innocent people dying around him? Rey learns that she didn't need to put Luke on a pedestal, but Luke also proves that he is the spark of hope that they thought he was, just in a way that didn't compromise his beliefs, and in a way that also inspired the resistance, now the new rebellion, to keep on going and fighting to really ignite that spark and burn the First Order down, reignite the New Republic. Awesome, if you ask me. So what is the theme of The Last Jedi? Honestly, if you ask me, I think it is found in the scene with Luke and Yoda. If you can see right behind me here, I actually have my Black Series Octu Luke and Empire Strikes Back Yoda, all that little scene set up. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, quite possibly in all of Star Wars. Yoda comes to Luke, Luke's teacher. Luke is an old man, a teacher now. And Yoda tells him, "You didn't do what I told you to do. You didn't pass on what you had learned." Luke's probably thinking, "What are you talking about? I set up a training temple. It all went to crap. Did you not see my flashbacks? I mean, come on." But Yoda says, "No. Pain, failure most of all. The greatest teacher failure is." One of the best lines in Star Wars since Do or Do Not, There Is No Try, if you ask me. It is awesome, an awesome thought, and quite frankly, I believe that, my friends, is the theme of The Last Jedi. So remember, don't let the past die, kill it if you have to. Don't live in the past, but look at the past, remember the past, and move on from it. And remember that failure is the best teacher. It's okay to make mistakes, because our heroes Luke and Yoda and Obi-Wan and Rey and Han Solo and Princess Leia, they have all made mistakes, and they have come back from it. That is inspiring. Again, if you like The Last Jedi, that's awesome, let's talk. If you didn't like The Last Jedi, let's talk too. Let's trade theories and talk why you didn't get it. I'm not saying you have to like the movie, but what I am saying is that the theme of The Last Jedi is possibly one of the greatest themes we've ever gotten, and it is a theme directly to the older fan base. This is the first Star Wars movie that is not about growing up. It is, quite frankly, about growing old. And the whole crux of growing up and becoming an adult and going farther into adulthood is that you're gonna fail, you're gonna make mistakes. And if you teach someone, what we need to realize about those people is, as Yoda says, we are what they grow beyond. Every generation should be better than the last, and that is a deep, amazing, fantastic theme. And it just gets deeper the more I watch the movie. There is so much in this film. So, what do you think about The Last Jedi? Do you think I'm right about the theme? If not, let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll be getting a lot more content out to you guys in the coming weeks. May slow down a little bit with the holidays coming up, but don't worry guys, the Canon Junkie is here for you. Let me know what you thought. Again, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and go and follow me on Twitter, Canon Junkie on Twitter, @JunkieCanon. Again guys, thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.